Before asking how do you get a manager, you should probably ask, do I actually need a manager? If dreaming of making millions from music, you will. As we established in video 1, if your dream is simply to do what you love, then a manager, and they're potentially 20%, could actually be a hindrance. Let's start by working out if you need a manager, and if so, how to find them. There will be a dating analogy, or 7, because this process is like finding love. Sadly, no one's yet invented a management version of Tinder. Key question 1, do you need a manager? If so, when? Which is kind of 2 questions. First benchmark, when you've written some great songs and can nail them live, because before that, what's the point? At this stage, when you say need, you probably actually mean want, not the same. Even once you have an awesome set of songs which you can nail live, we suggest you manage until you really can't manage. By managing until you can't manage, you learn the ropes of the music business, ensuring yourself against being conned by a shark. You develop industry contacts direct. You get yourself to a stronger position before negotiating your management deal, so you get a better manager and a better deal. An extra year of work could be the difference between giving your manager 15% or 20% for your whole career. The risks with getting a manager too early include the opposite of everything I just said, being guided into doing musical projects you'll later regret, locking yourself in for years to a deal you can't get out of. It is a massively backward step to sign to the wrong management. No manager is definitely better than the wrong manager. Sounds obvious, I know, but peeps do it. Key question 2, how do you identify the right manager? Identifying the right manager requires some self-reflection. You need to be clear on where you are as an artist, plus where you want to go to find the best placed person to help you get there. A manager is going to help you on a long journey. Do you want a train, a car, or a metaphorical horse? If a car, do you need a 4x4 for muddy terrain or a Mercedes for a smooth motorway ride? It is much easier to identify an appropriate manager if you know your destination. What kind of manager do you think you need? Someone who manages artists like you? Someone who manages a successful artist you think is crap? You're thinking, imagine what they could do with me if they can do that with those Muppets. Someone who manages artists you personally love? Someone who loves your music, or the hard-nosed vibe of someone who thinks they can sell you? Obviously, we want both. Like we all want a stunner who makes us laugh, is loaded, and tells us our puppy fat simply means there's more of us to love. Donald Passman of the Music Industry Bible, All You Need to Know About the Music Business, says you're probably looking at 1, a major manager with an associate who is wild about you. 2, a mid-sized manager who is wild about you. 3, an experienced manager who will kill for you. Or 4, a major manager who will take you on as a favor because he really owes someone. We call these respectively the big fish, the wild salmon, the hustling Nemo, and the... sounds a bit fishy. Don's one-line summary is you have to make a compromise between the time and attention a manager can give you versus their power and experience. So, you've identified your target manager. That Google thing will help you stalk them. Sorry, I mean find them. Securing them is where the real hard work starts. Key question 3, how do you meet that manager, or should they find you? That's 2 questions again, isn't it? You've reflected about where you want to go, that's somewhere that requires a manager, that the current workload really is too high for you to keep managing stuff yourself, plus you have identified your ideal management company, ideally a specific human. How do you meet them? Go to the gigs of artists they manage. Check the sound desk. Managers often watch gigs there. Don't interrupt the set. Trying to talk to them whilst their artist is playing won't get you signed. It will get you beer over your head. Hustle for the local support slot with the manager's artist. Tricky at the arena. Beyonce doesn't tend to have local support. Some artists playing Rock City, more at rescue rooms, are open to local support slots, particularly if the gig is not sold out yet and or the artist likes supporting unsigned musicians, something both venues love doing. Nearly all venues below 300 capacity, from the Maze to the Bodega, will have local support slots for touring artist gigs. Industry events. In Knots, our free Music Academy workshops and the Future Sound of Nottingham both give you the chance to meet and or get your music heard by 1 or 2 big fish, a few wild salmon, plus most of the local hustling Nemos. Dot to Dot Festival is probably the day of the year that the most big fish from outside Nottingham are physically in Notts. They know in one day they can see loads of new music plus a load of mates without having to take 40 quid Ubers between each venue. Hockley Hustle is probably the day the most big fish from in Nottingham are out and about in Nottingham. Further afield, conference events like AIM in London, Sound City in Liverpool, or the Great Escape in Brighton are basically musical aquariums. I'm gonna stop it with the fish thing now. Of course, all these approaches could be irrelevant if they find and approach you. It's dangerous to depend on this, but it is an angle. If you are smashing it, building a local following, music industry humans will be hearing about you and approaching you. Every minute chasing managers is a minute not writing songs, rehearsing, or playing live. So it's a valid but risky strategy to focus all your energy on being amazing live, assuming the fans and the fish will come to you. Whichever approach you use, your job is to get your music in front of their ears. After that, it's down to their tympanums. Key question 4, how do you secure that manager? We've acknowledged the dream scenario. Your music does the talking and managers start approaching you. Whether that dream is played out or you've had to put specific work in, both paths take you to the same place, the awkward first date. Like love, it's the second or third date where the serious work begins. Don't blow your overdraft on a diamond-encrusted gold mic just because you've had a decent first management date. The only definitive ever achieved on a first date is ensuring there is never another date. I'm aware you might feel we've overstretched the analogy, but it really is like dating. Human beings working out whether they would like to spend a lot of time with each other over the next few years, making this crucial decision whilst absolutely bladdered. So, first date prep. 1, you want to make clear you are management ready. You have awesome songs written, the live sorted, the website and social media looking on it. Definition equals clear sense of identity, active community, even if only small at the moment. People want to see passion. Look like you are ready to be managed rather than babysat. And 2, don't be a dick. I really hope Editor Sam hasn't put a picture up at this point. First date follow-ups. Be friendly, not needy. Be professional, not angry. Be persistent, but not stalkery. Consistent, friendly persistence. You want a manager, not a restraining order. No mention of music. It is a given that they are only going to be interested if they like and or see potential in your music. So at that point, it comes down to what they make of you. Are you really up for this? Will you put the work in? Are you going to be fun on a tour bus, or are you going to stink it out with your farts? To conclude, management is one of the most debated areas in music. Let's end by acknowledging some of the key clashes of opinion on managers. 1, do you want a manager with loads of artists like you so they know your area, or one with none like you so you have their exclusive attention in that area? 2, have they got to be into you musically, or have they just got to be effective? Your groupies can do the adoration vibe. 3, friends and family. Some say there is no one you can trust more. Others say no way. Avoid family managers like the plague. We are nearly done. Details on the summary PDF are below in the bio. We will end with our own little video summary. 1, identify your target manager. 2, get your music in front of their ears. 3, get your performance in front of their eyes. Then 4, smash it. And remember, it really helps if you're fucking good.